I know that TBD is an explicitly leftist podcast Let's Play series.
Oh no, we're arachno-communists.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know
Fucking
what
get
you
it
guys
right.
are talking about. I'm a fucking
centrist.
yeah. I'm a radical centrist.
Oh, so you have no opinion?
I want not.
I have no. It's not that I have no opinions. It's that I have wild radical opinions. In
Yeah, no, it's
every
like no.
direction.
I love the Nazis. I love the trans. The fucking the commies.
Where's that?
The landlords.
There was like
Bro, all I'm saying is that Jesus Christ, Hitler, and Stalin should have been bros.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sonic.
We're playing
Let's
Sonic and the
fucking
Black
go.
Knight, everybody.
Welcome to Sonic and the Black Cock. I mean the black. I mean
I
the
have
Sonic
too much
and-
energy
Sock and
for
Sonic,
whatever
sock
time
and the
it
black.
is.
Suck the black. Fuck.
welcome to the Best Dudes new apartment edition.
We're playing
Let's
Sonic
fucking go.
Frontiers, everybody.
Oh, there's
It's gonna
so
be
many
good.
things have happened in the last couple of months. Some of the peeps
No.
got a new place to live. Alonzo's here, always has been, never left. What are you talking about?
Alonzo, and of course we can't forget. We have to say a word of peace. Mark is no longer with us. He's at work.
He's actually at D&D this time.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's at
he's in
D&D,
D&D.
having more fun than
It's
we are.
D&D Mondays.
Guys, I regret to inform you. Not only is this our first Sonic game after complaining about Sonic for so long, it's a good video game. I don't know what to do.
It's actually good.
Sonic game out of all games we could play.
All right, if
So
everyone
shit.
shuts
Hold on,
up for
I
a
gotta
second,
get
one
my
thing I
teeth
do
out.
want
I'll be back.
to, I did want to bring up, we have recently hit 100 subscribers.
Let's go!
ladies and gentlemen.
We hit 100.
And as a result, we are going to try to make sure we reach that
Bro,
cap. We're
bro.
going right the fuck back down. Press new game.
Press New Game Plus. Let's go.
Playing on hard.
Also, I'd like to
like that
remind
bell.
everybody that we went from 64 subscribers since the last time we uploaded, and we've just been gaining subscribers this whole time.
Gaining subs without doing jack shit. Let's go. Okay, I want to point this out because I think this is actually really cool. These two things,
Yes.
what they do is
Action style.
high-speed style makes it
High-speed
play
style.
like it's a Sonic game, right? Action style slows the game down for ease of access. This game has an immense
Anthony.
amount of ease of access.
They
Anthony,
had to make a mode
Anthony,
especially
what does that
for-
mean?
for children like you, Anthony?
Alonzo, if
Because
you
if
don't
they
stop
didn't-
tapping my shoulder, I might bite your wiener off.
Is it tasty?
Yes, his dick is quite tasty. I don't know why I know that or why you know that,
It's
but
got
you
something
told me.
I like to call
and
spicy cheese on it, and I'm gonna
And-
let you decide what that is.
anyway,
Well, seeing
This is a
as Alonzo
Pepper
is
jack
the
shit.
chef,
All
that
I-
would make sense.
all I'm gonna say is that this game has a lot of very good quality of life things for people who might be what would be the term? Like you have a harder time playing
Autistic?
games. Like you have not specifically like that, but just like because there's a lot of like I guess
They
the term
have
would be
a-
normie.
They have a slow version.
Left-handed
and then
people?
They have
Left
that's
brained
also
people. People who get like anxiety spikes from playing video games.
We're just gonna go ahead. and come
People
out
who
and
watch
say it.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
There's one
Alright.
for the kids.
I'm
that
back.
need
What I
helmets,
missed?
You
and
missed
there's
nothing,
one for the
Max.
kids that
We're-
don't need helmets.
Hold on, shut the
I know,
fuck up,
we're
Alonzo.
sorry.
We're watching the cutscene.
No, I was explaining the difference between action and speed.
You can't do that to me. I invented the iMac.
Okay. Listen to me. Everyone in this game is voice acted beautifully.
Nice.
I'm Eggman.
I actually
So is there a follow-up part
100%
two to that?
love Eggman. Mike Pollock in this game is amazing. I already knew he was a great
You know what
voice.
it is?
He's always a great voice
Mike
actor,
Pollock
but
is
he
doing it for
like
your 20
knocked it
years
out of the
point.
park in this game.
For voice acting in Sonic, Mike Pollock's been like the closest thing to a constant, and it's like damn well so. Like
That's the
you know,
thing.
he from like day fucking one, he did fantastic, and he only got better from there.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
think
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
because this was written in English, if I'm not mistaken, because it's Ian Flynn who's a head writer, who is the IDW comic writer, and by extension one of the Archie writers, and that's one of the reasons why the characters are so well written in this.
It's all coming online.
But everyone in this game is weirdly voice acted much more mellow than in every other Sonic game. Like, because Like the first thing I noticed is Sonic is not wacky woohoo chili dog man in this game. He's not hooba dooba. He's not like I'm up here with my surfer dude voice. He just sounds like he sounds like a more chilled out version of Chris Redfield.
A little bit.
Yeah, and he's a lot like softer spoken and a little bit more like what would you say?
You gotta find all the BOWs.
He definitely sounds like he's older.
Yeah, he was kind of monotone from whenever I was listening.
It's a
to
mature
Sonic.
Well, he gets
They're a
better,
mature era.
especially when he's talking to Amy. You can tell that he's being a lot like nicer to her than like.
Oh shit!
Like
Let's find out what drew them here.
It's great because it's what you were saying
did
earlier.
they change Amy's voice actor?
No, it's
Because
still the same chick, I believe, which is Minnie Mouse, if I'm not mistaken.
See, what I think is happening here, it's one of those, they're not having to translate things and match the energy of the Japanese voice actors. They get to do their thing.
Yeah, not only that.
It's kind of like how...
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're good. No, I was going to say, it's kind of like how they let Tails' voice actor, whatever. Actress, yeah. Well, I mean, that's another discussion for another day, but how they let her really, like, perform for the Sonic movie rather than just being like, well, look at me, I'm Tails.
And I think because it feels more natural, they also, like, specifically with Amy, I noticed she's not doing like a voice anymore. It just she kind of sounds like a mom, if I'm honest. Whoa. And I will say that can be a good thing. We're in our first cyberspace level. Hey guys, this game is great. It starts with Green Hill.
Formula. Wow,
it really does. That's actually a really, really good way to introduce you to the game with a Green Hill.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly. If this hadn't been the same thing we've been seeing for the last like 20 years.
That is true.
Generations
like they
and
changed the formula from this point
Yo, Anthony.
Windmill Island being like, oh yeah, it's the same.
Yo, Anthony, I have a question for you. Are those the Green Hill Zone 11s?
Are you talking about my shoes?
Yes.
Okay, so this is actually amazing. I have I'm probably not gonna go for all of those. I might go for some S ranks, but it's okay. What you call it? The game, if you sign up for Sega's newsletter before, I think, January next year, 2023.
Sounds good.
They'll probably bring it back in some way, and someone's probably going to mod it in if they don't. But they have official HD models of the Adventure 2 shoes.
Soap shoes.
The soap shoes are so good, and they're the only shoes I will ever wear in this game.
Soap shoe supremacy.
They're great.
Raw. What the hell kind of name is soap?
Is soap, like, the company who made soap shoes, so those are a real thing. Like, are they still exist?
No, unfortunately, they went out of business. Probably because they were very dangerous.
Yeah.
They were literally.
It's one of those things you look at. It's like, nope, that is how you break your fucking arm.
I mean, when you see people actually wear them and do well with them, it's kind of cool because they just, they grind on a rail and they just like. And it's weird that a tie-in brand deal gave Sonic one of his main defining traits since then, because he couldn't grind on rails before that.
Oh, he couldn't.
I wouldn't even say Sonic's defining trait, but characters grinding on rails, like three rails at a time sort of thing, was a regular thing in PS2 era platformers. Ratchet and Clank had the grind.
You're right. Ratchet and Clank, I think.
Remember, Jet Set Radio came out in the PS1 and the
Does Jack and Daxter,
like Pro Skater would definitely bring that. Oh, should we shut up and let the fucking cyber lady talk? Or
nobody cares about the story. Just keep talking. It's fine.
I will say that the story is pretty good.
Okay, Donkey. But like Tony Hawk Pro Skater definitely brought in like any mechanics of anything with a skateboard, anything with grinding on rails or whatever was part of the
See, even Sonic's confused.
Some direction is better than none.
Yeah, I forget that era of video games had this as like a main mechanic. It's weird that a lot of other games though did it better than Sonic at the time. Also, I'm gonna say this just for the meme. Sega hired the man.
Yeah, Sega hired the man.
You did it.
Absolutely.
The only reason that I'm thinking about this is because there is a mod that adds a reshade preset that changes it, and the reshade preset is called Sega hired the man.
Well, it's funny because wasn't that like
It looks
the
brighter.
initial meme when everybody saw this on Twitter? It was just everybody was like, "Oh, just Sega hired the
Sega
man."
finally hired the
He
man.
did it.
Because
He
it
done
really
did
looks
it.
like one of those fucking like HD Mario mods. That's just a bunch of fucking
With, like, the
stock
ball
mods.
Sonic.
No.
Glass.
It's taking
At least it
Mario
doesn't
Sonic
look
or whatever.
atrocious. The camera looks like it functions rather than like just zipping around
And-
at a bajillion frames per second.
And the thing is, almost every inch of this place is designed to be run through with like platforming and stuff.
Yeah, so it's more than just, hey, we put Sonic in an Unreal Engine hill.
Yeah, exactly. That was the most frustrating
There we
thing
go.
about the.
That's the next zone. Unreal Engine zone. Let's fucking go.
That
Unreal
sounds
Engine
like a
zone.
Sonic zone,
The,
bro.
the-
Yeah,
the
I hate
camera
how much
whips
of a
to the
stage
left and
zone.
to the right at 100 miles per hour. You can't see shit. Everything's motion blurred.
That is one thing.
It's the Epic Store exclusive zone.
Everything's way too reflective for no reason.
I'm so thankful that like Nintendo and Sega are buddy buddy, because if any other company was doing it, it would be all exclusives.
I just found this out, by the way, but you can fucking light dash your EXP, and that's really cool.
I love it.
They fixed the
I
light
found that
dash.
out,
That's another thing. They actually made it to where the light dash functions as it's supposed to. I don't think they've had that since what, 06?
Something like that. It
Well,
was
okay, the problem with the light dash in so many
Um,
games is that it's like, okay, you have the light dash ability, but here's like the designated light dash area. That's
Yeah,
like,
Generations had like the context sensitive.
Yeah, it had like you
light dash
ever
sections.
since I believe Unleashed. I might be wrong on that. We had context sensitive light dashes. You're right.
Tommy, fact
It
check
kind of
him.
defeats the purpose. All right.
Not you, Tommy, but Tommy, editor Tommy.
I'll do a lot.
Tommy, put it on screen.
So.
Tell me, put it on screen.
Just
but make
just
it
the fucking Google
alter
research
alter
page,
history
search
so that I'm
results
right.
page.
Alter history so that I'm right.
Don't like just
all you see is the
don't
Wikipedia.
falsify the evidence.
All
Don't
you see
go
is
back
the-
and fix
You
it.
can't do.
Yeah,
All you see
I'm
is
on
the Wikipedia
I'm on
article
the
opening
Wikipedia
up.
page or the Sonic News Network page, sonicfandom.wiki, whatever, for the Lightspeed Dash. I'm going to edit, and we're removing Sonic the Hedgehog 06. It just wasn't in there.
The combat. This is
Nobody
this
likes
is
Sonic
this is probably
06,
my
including the
my
people
point
that
of
like
contention
Sonic
with this
06.
game.
He's a raccoon. It's nature's.
I like how you have the fucking Bayonetta parry.
Yes, you probably can't tell because it happens a bit too fast, but you can cancel homing attacks with the air dash, and you can cancel the air dash frame 1 with a stomp. So it looked like I was hitting him once, but every time I hit them like 3 times.
I actually kind of like the way the combat works in this game because, like, pretty much all the other Sonic games combat. Granted, by necessity, they were never really focused on combat, but the way you fought most enemies was you just kind of ran into them.
Yes, you just kind of ran. I will say the combat in the early game, I like. I think once you start getting abilities, the combat actually gets watered down, and the only reason I think this is because all of the abilities are more things that seem to do the same thing. They don't really have think of a good combat loop like something like a Devil May Cry, or and that's an unfair comparison, by the way. This is the first game like this.
Or hold on, fucking Sonic Unleashed Werehog stages.
Well, even in Sonic Unleashed Werehog stages, it was like you have a bunch of moves that seem to have a purpose. Like here's a launcher, here is a big swing that does multiple that hits multiple enemies. When it comes to this game, all of the attacks you do seem to do the same thing. They just seem to have a big animation attached to them. Like they don't do more damage. They don't give you like more meter. We'll get into the meter system, which is very limited later. I unlocked the ability to use skills. We'll look at the skill tree. This skill tree is very, very rudimentary.
That's like a skill shrub.
Yeah,
it's a skill potted plant.
Yes, and the only ones of use are these ones over here. and then the rest of them are just there for looks, really. I'd say maybe the recovery smash, because it's actually like I got hit and knocked down, so I get to do a recovery move. And it's like, okay, that's whoa.
Air straight into the water.
I'm in the water now.
Well, the good thing is you just try.
Our Nuzlocke's done. We'll see everyone next time. Goodbye.
15 minutes in and I've already fucked up. Anyway, what was I saying? The other moves just seem to be like, fuck, I got so off track. That fucked me up. What the hell was I saying? Was anyone listening?
You were talking about the skill tree, or skill potted plan, and how a lot of the later
basically, they all seem to be like just there for the fact that they look nice. And while it's like, okay, that's okay, I guess. This game isn't focused on combat, which is good because the combat is limited. Everything else also makes up for it quite a bit, in my opinion. But I will say, like, when it comes to those moves, they take a really long time. Like, they're like, I don't know, Max, if you've gotten to the point where you've gotten some of these moves. They have very long wind-up animations, especially.
I have. They take their sweet time. I mean, they look cool.
They look cool.
They make the big number go up, and it's all well and good. But like you're saying, they kind of just are there, and I think that's fine for the most part. I think Sega's just kind of going with they're trying.
Yeah,
that's fine.
And my biggest issue with them in general is not even that they also take a long time. It's that they actually take the position of other buttons on your controller. So the slide, you can actually attack with the slide. It's kind of nice. It does a decent chunk of damage. I'm gonna grab this later. I have one portal gear and I don't know where I got it. Oh, the ninja. Never mind. I killed Ninja, stole his blue hair, and I got a gear from it. I don't know how I did that. Don't ask me, but it happened.
So that's where Sonic learned the floss.
Yes.
Exactly.
Where are you gonna get? When's your merchandising deal, Anthony?
Probably. Anyway, guys.
Yeah, so Anthony sold out. We didn't. So he's gonna go off and do his own thing. We're gonna stay. We're gonna stay real one.
Anthony, what's your Fortnite creator code?
It is 7. I've got the oldest Xbox known to man.
That's 7. That's how many Unos?
Exactly. But the slide, you get this move called the loop kick, I think it's called. And the loop kick, if you try to slide in combat, suddenly the loop kick takes its place, and it takes forever to come out. And it also doesn't really.
I really
do
had
much.
to shit, and that's what came out one day.
You shot out a tower?
I did, and it looked just like that, and I was terrified.
Okay, so it looks like this game has a parry, but it doesn't. It has a really fancy block button.
It does.
Because you can hold it forever.
Fancy Broku.
I'd say, okay, the thing about Sonic Frontiers is combat. Is just a lot of it is that all the stuff that's kind of jank is still a really strong foundation.
Yes, I want them to continue doing stuff like this.
Yeah, they just need to keep doing it. Just be like, okay, well, we got a good foundation. Let's do the whole game development thing and develop around it.
Which is why I hope to God that people don't just shit on it without taking into account that it is the first time they're doing something like this for this franchise specifically, and I think it is a step in the right direction, honestly.
Just to address the donkey in the room.
Yeah, what? What?
Because the
video
game donkey.
I was. You have no idea how confused I was, Tommy. I was like, what?
Donkey! Well, no, okay, so Video Game Donkey, I mean, he just made a video saying, I don't really much care for the game. Okay, cool, great, awesome. It's his fans that are the problem, and it's usually the fans.
Oh, absolutely.
I haven't watched
the fans of the game and the fans that are not fans of the game.
I mean,
that are just
Jim Sterling, God bless them, love them, said they just totally don't like Sonic Frontiers, which, fine, whatever.
I don't mind people not liking things, obviously. It's just, I really hope that they come with an actual argument for why they don't like certain things, instead of just saying,
I think Donkey is kind of tired of that situation. He just kind of makes videos now for the views. Because before it was just like he would give it like an honest review, but with certain games he just phones it in because people want to hear it. They want to hear vindication for their favorite game rather than actually hear Donkey's opinion.
Also, I'll let you get back to that, Seuss. Anthony, what the fuck was that?
What I was just doing to that thing?
You just fucking Super Saiyan 3 motherfucking looking ass.
Oh, well, okay, so what I was doing, I was doing a lot of cancels. I found out, I need that. I found out through a lot of testing, because I was getting annoyed at how slow a lot of the combat was in general.
Fucking labbing in a Sonic.
Yeah, that is something that I actually like. You can cancel your homing attack into a dodge in the overworld. And I say in the overworld on purpose because the overworld controls differently than the Sonic quote-unquote sections in this game. This actually controls a lot more like Generations than the outside world, because the outside world.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Unnecessary 2D sections.
Oh, I missed the S rank by a second.
God, this music is really good, though.
The music is really good. I'm probably not going to go for S ranks because some of them are really tight, which I'm just going to say right now, I like that. I much prefer the S rank being something you work for rather than just being given to you.
Oh, right. Like, the past couple of games have just had it of, like, are you not brain dead? Did you not die? Here's a perfect.
Like, I remember, I think my, like 4 or 5 year old brother at the time, because he's like, what, 14, 15 now?
Something like that.
But at the time, he played Green Hill Zone in Generations for the first time. He got an S rank without even trying, obviously. And it's like, well, at that point, it doesn't mean anything. The only way you need to get an S rank in those games is by not dying in the stage. And I prefer this, where if you die in a stage, it actually keeps your timer. It actually, so you really don't want to die. That's the consequence for dying in those stages. It keeps your timer at what it was when you die, which I think is way better than just having a life system. I'm glad we're out of that system by now.
Because it's not the 90s anymore.
Yes, and I will also say, I think, despite using reused assets for a lot of these, and I say assets, reused level design and some like level aesthetics from previous games like Green Hill Zone, and we just seen Sky Sanctuary.
Because remember, kids, reusing designs is different from reusing assets. Reusing assets is lazy. Reusing designs is innovative.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're gonna say reusing assets is lazy, what about Pokemon though? Because that's a very
it's lazy.
It's very lazy. Well,
it's very lazy, and I'll tell you why it's lazy. But I'll tell you later because Anthony has a point to make.
Well, my only point was, despite all that, I think they are designed incredibly well. Some of them are very fun. I don't want to spoil too much because some of us are still playing the game. I've 100% of this already. Shit. I'm gonna kind of tangent real quick. I hate that cutscene.
Yeah, I wish it was just like a little flash of lightning.
So this is what
I know
this is what
they
happens.
do that purely to reference the movie.
Of course. So this is what happens whenever you have an actual like life meter technically in this game, where you have a limited amount of rings that you can carry at any given time, and I don't know if there's a benefit to getting more than what you start with, the 400 maximum amount. I don't think there's a benefit for getting more other than that it takes longer to get the max. Whenever you have the max amount, you start moving around the speed of like fucking Unleashed Sonic instead of the way that you move here, which is more like Forces Sonic. And you go really fucking fast. The problem is every time you reach your max amount, it plays that cutscene and it's unskippable. It's very annoying. And if you have the mod loader for the game on Steam, you can actually remove that cutscene out of the game entirely. And I think that the game plays much better with that because it happens every time you land. It's like if you're in the air.
Well, you kill the flow of the game.
It definitely 100% kills the flow of the game. There's a couple of cutscenes like that are just
that's like if you went into something like God of War and you switch between weapons, but every time you switch, it like cuts, goes back to you. All the enemies are frozen, and you do like an animation switching weapons instead of just switching the weapons.
It's like right now we're watching cutscenes, but you can skip all these. in terms of a like UI design, I think this game actually has a few UX problems, like user experience problems, and that's mostly due to the fact that there are many instances of the game doing this thing where it'll show you a dialogue box and it'll be like the dialogue box is on screen, but you won't be able to interact with it for like a good 2 seconds before
like menu items and all that.
Yeah, so you've messed with the Coco guys, right, Max?
Yes.
It takes so long to improve your stats with the Coco guy because you have to do it one at a time, and each time it takes, I think, a good 10 seconds between each of them because you got to watch the cutscene, you got to see the UI pop up, you got to do all that, and that takes a very, very long time. I don't know why they did it like this because they've got what we just seen, which is, what you call it?
I think it's probably because they want to do it like having it set up like a dialogue option thing because it's implied the implication that Sonic's being like, hey, I want you to do this for me.
Yeah,
I want you to make me faster.
I just wish we could do it in bulk. That's it.
Yeah,
that would make it all better.
Maybe that'll be a patch or something, or a Sonic.
It would be nice. It would be nice.
Whatever will happen. Or maybe a mod or whatever.
This move is weird. I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but I like it purely because it allows cancels that you wouldn't be able to normally do. But the fact that you could just kind of do this until you hit the ground and you just have to hold the button, I'm not sure what the idea behind it was. It's just he kicks.
Like, it feels like there should be a meter that's.
It's basically no. It's the Sonic version of I'm plus as fuck, boy.
It's what it feels like. Yes.
Also, so I know we're all seeing it in the background, but that big fucking shadow of the Colossus looking motherfucker.
Asura is great.
Fuck. I love the mini bosses in this game. It's like, oh yeah, you see that boss, you can climb it.
That is something that I do really like. I see Amy over there. I'm gonna go grab her in just a second. I'm gonna fight Asura first, though.
Okay, Amy. You're gonna get totally canceled.
No relation to Asura's wrath. Of course.
I love that the first time we saw this was watching your wife trying to get up this hill for like 30 minutes.
It's a lot easier than she was making it out to be, and that's because neither of us neither of us knew what to do at the time.
I know. I absolutely know that once you guys figured it out, it was going to be easy. It was just fun to see the struggle happen.
There's so many ways to get up here that she wasn't using. Like, it throws you off when you do enough damage to it. And I'm just going to do this because...
Bro, get to 100, get to 100, get to 100. Oh.
No, yeah, it's possible to just fucking run back.
Okay, so it took...
Yeah, you definitely...
fucking clap, dog.
That's not what's supposed to happen.
Fucking iframes are just a joke.
Okay, this game doesn't have iframes, actually. It has a recovery system where if you hit the ground, you lose rings. But if you manage to dodge before you hit the ground, you will not lose any rings. So, like, you can do that and stop yourself from losing any damage. But if the attack happens not to ooh, GB, I'm going over here. All right, and then I'm just gonna. Oh, I didn't get my fucking thing back, but it's okay. We're bouncing back up his ass.
It took your wife about 20 minutes, I want to say, to beat this boss.
Yes, it took an immeasurably long amount of time. Just trust me, I'm doing damage right now.
I can see the combo going up.
Because he's plus fuck, boy.
I need the happy number to go up.
Ow.
I love that Sonic can just climb shit. Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know what? Maybe Stephanie Sterling had a point.
Tommy, could you edit this entire episode out?
Yeah, all of it.
You know what? Were the 100-something subs really that worth it?
I don't know. That's not something for us to figure out. That's for them to figure out. Was it worth it to sub to this channel?
Can we just go back to the fucking rating Sonic wives and husbands? We'll just do that again.
Can we go back to the word of our Lord?
Sonic is S tier?
No.
Their own waifu?
I'm gonna fuck. No. Okay. That is Tiffany Grant, who is her own waifu. This is my tangent now. Okay, so
I appropriated this tangent.
I am procreating this. I am birthing it. I am
Procreating.
it.
Literally, what you're literally white right now.
Shut the fuck up, Tommy. See, okay, listen, that was easy. I did it. You saw it. That was the first try.
First try.
See how many times my wife had to do it? More than 3.
Okay.
The thing is, your wife. The thing.
Okay,
Here we go.
Here we go.
The thing is, your wife didn't have to take 3 times to do it. She took it. She did it in 1. It just took her forever.
It just took a long time because she didn't know what to do. But also, to be fair, I was doing crazy combos to that dude. And she didn't know how to do the combos. Anyway, go.
To be fair, I was styling on.
I was styling on that motherfucker. Anyway, Max, you were saying a thing. I don't care. Do it again.
Yeah. So we talked about someone or whoever made a joke about they're their own waifu, and there actually is someone who can justifiably say they are their own waifu, and it is Tiffany Grant.
Okay.
For those uninitiated, Tiffany Grant was the original English voice actress for Asuka in Evangelion. She did.
Oh yeah.
She did the old ADV dub, and she was in Regal dub.
Tell me in the episode.
No.
Should we end the episode?